Hi everyone, welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. How are you guys doing on this Thursday afternoon? I hope all is well and thank you for showing up and being here. I have to contact YouTube's technical support team again because I have to record this and upload it because for some reason I can't go on live when I try to go on my channel. So something is going on. So what I'm doing is recording here and then uploading the video so that you guys can still tune in and watch. So be patient with me as I do that because some of you do watch live, but at this moment there's some kind of technical difficulty. But I'll get to the bottom of it later tonight. So just want to let you know that that's why this video is being recorded. So thank you for being here and showing up. Thank you, new subscribers. Thank you, all subscribers. The messages, what that means to me is saying to me that these messages are resonating with you. And I thank you for that because I speak from my own experiences about what I've gone through and what's been happening and how I overcame and I didn't succumb to the grief and the pain and all the crap that I went through. And it was very, very difficult because I didn't have a support system that cheered me on and was there to say, hey, Lisa, I got your back, etc. and so forth. I had to take it from the dungeon, basically, and lift myself up with the help of God. Like I tell everyone, I draw my strength from God because this is not a one-man show. I could never do this by myself. And everything that happens, and I feel so like, wow, I had to really work hard, and it's no joke. So with that being said, please also keep in mind, I'm not a therapist, social worker, or a counselor. I'm just someone who shares my experiences, and I talk to you guys about how I overcame these things, these trials, challenges, and how I went from where I was in 2020 to where I am in 2025. A whole lot of work. And some people just don't want to get on board to do the work because it's difficult. But it's necessary, guys. It's very necessary. So to heal this, because like I tell you guys, life and circumstances and challenges, things happen for a reason, a season, a lifetime, or a lesson. And for me, I did not want to repeat any more of these lessons. So I was determined to learn them so that I didn't have to repeat them and I can close those doors and move on to new beginnings, new situations, better situations that I deserve, especially after I did the work. So guys, with that being said, the topic of discussion today is never allow anyone to take your kindness for weakness. Set boundaries. Never allow anyone to take your kindness for weakness. Always set boundaries. Because when you're a good person, you have a good heart, good intentions, and you're on this path to help people. Sometimes people think that you're naive, dumber than a rock, or whatever, and they will try to get over on you. That's another lesson I learned. I thought if I stayed in my lane, if I helped people, did the right thing, but some people are not about that. They're out to get what they can. They don't want to do the work. They want it quick like a microwave, and guess what? They have your name on their list if you're a generous, kind person, and don't let that be the case. Never allow anyone to take advantage of your generosity and kindness. Set boundaries. With that being said, now I have some notes here because sometimes during the day I get these messages or things that happen. I don't want to forget certain points that might resonate with you, so I write things down, little notes. So the first thing I'm going to say to you guys, when someone is in your life or try to come into your life not for your highest good, instead of, oh, this is a nice person, he or she, etc. and so forth, right? Keep in mind, here's what I've learned. I'm not going to tell people what to do, but here's what I learned. Don't believe everything people tell you. Look at people's actions instead of what they are verbalizing to you. Look at what their actions. See if their actions match what they're saying to you. This is how you know what the truth is and what's not the truth. This is how you see behind a mask if people are wearing them or not. And this is what I've learned so far being on this journey called life. Some people who are haters and they just don't want to see you win because they love drama, they love toxicity, they don't want to see you win. And some of the ways I have noticed that, I had to learn these lessons the hard way. When somebody's trying to get me put out with vicious and malicious lies about things I would never do and I've never done, trying to get me fired from my job just because they don't want to see me elevate, rise, and be, content and at peace. Trying to stop my blessings and my vows that I made to God. That's a dangerous one, people. Because when someone makes a vow to God, especially after healing and going through the dark moments of your life, and then God bring you back and bring you up and lift you up, and you make those vows and you're keeping those vows, and someone's trying to intervene with that, oh, I'm going to stop that, I'm going to block that. Now you're playing with God, because what I'm going to do is going to go into a 3-day prayer, and then I'm going to say to God, yeah, I'm staying on this path, I'm doing A, B, C, D, and E, but these people over here are trying to stop and block my blessings and do A, B, C, D, and E. And when God looks at that, he's going to do what's necessary. And when God comes into the picture and do whatever, people can run, jump, skip, and hop, but when you do things like this, there's karma attached to it. And, when God brings that about, there's no getting any help. Just leave people alone. You don't like somebody because their light is shining and they went through the work and did whatever they needed to do to lift themselves up. Just leave that person alone. Let them go. Because what people are not realizing is that when somebody heals pain and hurt so deep to the epitome of your soul, you're not the same individual anymore. I know I'm not. I've gone through so much. I'm not that same Lisa. If these people from the past came to me now, they wouldn't even recognize who I am. I'm not that same individual. I'm the same Lisa Vaughn. I'm the same generous, but I'm not generous in the same way as being a doormat to these folks. And I will tell you, I have no problem doing that. Whereas in the past, I had a problem saying no. Even when I felt uncomfortable with circumstances and situations, I just gave in to them. And now, the least I am today, I'm not doing any of that. I take my vows to God seriously and make sure I accomplish them. And, one of the vows was to pay tithes to his house, which I do that. And another one is to help people through my own personal experiences by telling you how I got through them, by telling you what to look for, what I look for and what I see, because everybody is not who they say they are. They'll tell you what you want to hear, but look closely. Take a second and third look, because sometimes people actions are not matching who they are. The math is not mathing, in some of these cases. So look for these things. And now where I am, since I've healed and grew and still evolving and looking at life from a different perspective, a different mindset, I have no sympathy or empathy for these folks, because a premeditation to do something toxic and negative to somebody just because they healed, grew, and evolved with their life, and they're helping other people to do the same. And you can't snake them or con them anymore, whatever you are on. That's not my problem. What I would suggest is for that person to go and ask God to help them, go heal, do some therapy work, because that's what I did. One day at a time, one step at a time. What I'm not going to do is never again allow people to take advantage of my generosity, my kindness. I'm not going to be an ATM or a doormat. Doesn't matter who they are, past, situation, relationships rather, past family members, whatever it is. I'm not doing any of that anymore, because it went on far too long. And when I needed help and I needed someone to be there, especially with all those losses in 2020, it was like being left on a Titanic by myself to fend for yourself, make it out the best way you can. And that is not someone or people who care about me as a person or even love me as a person. You never. So that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking at some notes because I want to cover points, because I want to make sure that people who are listening is resonating with this message, especially if these are your circumstances. And what I've learned so far as well is never allow a snake to bite you. You know, just observe people. And that's what I've learned to do, to observe. I take my time with any and everything that I do today. I take my time. I don't jump into situations. I look at it, study it, observe it. And some people don't like that because they can't snake you or con you so easily. I remember watching something a while ago, I don't know, maybe a few years ago, called The Con. I think that was the name of it. And it was different stories about men who like to con women. And it was women who was going through grief. One episode I saw in particular, and it was this one, it broke my heart watching it, because this woman had lost her husband, and she had been married 20 something years or whatever. He passed away. I guess she had a insurance policy plus savings and whatever. And this man that she met, who she thought was, really into her and interested in her, and she spent time, but he was a con artist. He spent 6 months with her, getting her to build up the trust in him and all of this and etc. And then he told her he had some kind of investment business, and he made it look like, okay? But I guess she didn't dig deep enough to see what it really was. And then he treated her so good and made her feel so comfortable that he finally asked her to invest some money into it, and that in 3 or 4 days she'll get that money back double. She believed this instead of digging deeper and looking further. But when you are going through grief, sometimes you have blinders on. You're not thinking clearly, and I understand that. I've been there. And what happened, she invested, I don't know, $200,000-300 something thousand dollars of her money into this, and something hit her. And I said her intuition should have hit her a lot sooner. And she woke up in the middle of the night like she saw a ghost or something, and then she reached for the phone to call him, and the number was disconnected. I think he had a throwaway phone or something. He was on to his next victim, and it was just heart-wrenching to watch that. But at the end, if I'm not mistaken, I think she found some other women who he did this to, and they went to court to sue him, and he got his karma and went to jail. But in a lot of cases, we need to watch and see, no matter what it is. That's an extreme case. In other cases with people, watch and see if the actions are matching what they're telling you, because people can tell you anything. I could say, hey, meet me at the Brooklyn Bridge, I'm ready to sell it to you, and somebody would show up there. We have to think, we have to look and dig deeper. And that's another lesson I learned, because I was trusting people and doing, hey, one time, I was dating someone, and it was like, I was out, karaoke night or something. I went out and I worked a lot back then. I said, okay, met someone, and then, this is so silly. I feel embarrassed saying it, but it's going to help somebody, and it helped me never to make this dumb mistake again. And I met someone, and, that person asked me to be their girlfriend. And I'm like, okay, yeah, because, this person looked good, said whatever to me, whatever. Started dating. 3 months later, this is not for me, because this is somebody who has some serious problems and other things going on. And, I was able to end that, and it was like, it hurt a little, but I never made that mistake again. And now I do things differently. We're going to take our time. We're going to learn about each other, and if people don't want to, and if that person or a person don't want to do that, I'm not for you. I don't do things the same way, because my mindset is different. I'm not in that old version of myself mindset where I did do things that way, because I'm learning lessons. When you learn these lessons, you do things differently. You observe, you look, you watch, you wait, and then you just decide, So, guys, take your time. Don't allow anybody to take advantage of you or use you. Use your discernment, men and women here who are listening, because men, you have discernment too. I mean, intuition. And what I mean by intuition, if something don't feel right and it makes you feel sick inside, listen to that, because that's a intuition that's telling you, hey, look at this situation more clearly. Don't, put your feet in the water. Don't put your whole self in there. Look at this situation. And that's what I do now. If it don't feel right to me and I get that sick feeling, I just leave it alone. And in some situations, I just had to cut off, block, and delete. When someone coming to me with a game, playing a game, and I kind of recognize it now because I've went through this so many times because I didn't learn the lessons. And then when it feels that way and it's like that, and a person feel like they lurking, creeping, and crawling, and all this other stuff, they have something to hide. I don't go that extra mile. I just cut off, block, and delete, and keep it moving. Because my peace is everything to me. My healing and growth is everything. And guys, be careful, because people can tell you they change for the better, and they on a healing journey, etc. Watch the actions, because it's going to tell you everything that you need to know. Because going back to something that puts you in a place of pain where you felt broken down, busted, and disgusted, and you've healed that and started to grow, heal, and evolve, never allow that situation to take you back, because the next time that the snake bites you, the second bite might be deadly. That's the message today, guys. Please share this video with others. Take care of yourself. Continue to give yourself time, to spend time to yourself on a daily. Do something uplifting to take care of your mental and physical health. Make that always a priority. This is Lisa, shedding love and light, and always encouraging you to be your best self. And take care of yourself. And I'll see you again sometime tomorrow. Hit that subscribe button so that hopefully the situation with YouTube will be fixed by then. If not, I'll just upload a video. Thank you again, guys. Have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.